as I drive to work, I'm going to try to get caught up on these after the reviews. Basically, the sole purpose is to discuss things that have been running through my mind. Recently, it's been the reflection book that I started about 2 years ago. It's almost at 60-some pages of reflections that I have. And it started with a woman that told another younger boy, that his eyes were much more bigger than his stomach. And it struck me as kind of upsetting, because this lady telling this skinny young boy that he couldn't have a certain amount of food, but she then in turn had 3 times the amount of food, when she honestly only needed the same amount as him. It just didn't seem right. So that spawned a book of reflections about how things are done. Some of that stuff in there would possibly get me in trouble with people that I know and family and friends, but it's honest reflections on how I feel about the situation, so I'm not going to change it. But in other news, the beer reviews seem to be going okay. Small views here and there, but it's a good thing. I don't expect to have hundreds of viewers and subscribers yet, so I'm just going to increase my volume. But simply stating is that I think we all need to try to come back and understand why we were given the ability to reflect on things, and why we're given the ability to look at things and make a decision for ourselves. It's because we're not meant to be told what to believe. We're meant to be able to assess that for ourselves. The reflections and reviews, like I said, spawned that 60-plus page book. I may actually try to get a copyright for it and then release it on Kindle once I feel, 1, good about the editing, 2, feel good about the size and volume of that. Because I recently opened it up after a good 4 months of not touching it, and added something new recently. The other videos that I have, they will show you the other passions that I have, brewing kombucha, which is pretty simple. And basically all you have to do is ensure that the temperature doesn't go above or below a certain range, and you put a culture of bacteria in an alcoholic beverage, but it's enjoyable when you do it right. Other things are the other side of things. A good friend helped me brew an IPA. It took 60 minutes to do the introduction of the hops into it. Hello to the 1 subscriber that is there. If you can comment, I can't see who you are, but I hope to refine that and help people out through that refinement process. So good thing is it's not flooding recently here in Pennsylvania. It's been flooding drastically, and also I need to get a haircut because it keeps flying back into my face. But what happens when you're poor? You use your money on the things that you want to use it on, and not on things that are superficial. So I may just buzz the hair all off. So that's a nice one. Hopefully I'll make it there on time. So right now it's about 1:45, 1:50. 10 minutes wouldn't be bad to make it to work. People are out enjoying themselves, golfing. It's honestly a beautiful day. So, in other news, after I get through this 5 gallons of beer, I will be searching to find this IPA through the hop usage and also through its grain usage. But as I'm learning, is as soon as you start changing those little factors, it loses its ability to be called the certain beer that you want it to be. So I'm going to mention it. Keystone Brewing was the place where I got the ingredients for this first batch. I also went down to Fancy Camper to get some other supplies. Fancy Camper is a small operation. Keystone Brewing is a ginormous operation up in Pennsylvania. Both of them are phenomenal customer service, and I honestly you know, just because of their honesty, I prefer both equally. So I'm going to go work, try to get some extra stuff done at work today. But in other news, the last few after the reviews were called After the Review, but my wife came up with a phenomenal name called After Brew. I have to find out if anybody else is using that, the After Brew. If they are, then I can't use it, and I'll just keep it after the review. And so I think it's a clever and catchy name. The first few years of this Dad Bod Refinement channel will be refined to get proper branding, because if you have proper branding, you'll be able to meet and reach anybody that you want to go after. So I can't really look at the camera. If you can see in the window right there, there's trees and stuff flying by me, so that obviously means I'm driving. And in other news, I'm excited for my wife. My wife is going down another avenue next weekend. I don't have the permission to share that because it's her passion that she's going for, and nobody needs to know that. I can share what I'm doing. I'm not going to share what my kids are doing. My kids are amazing. They'll pop on here once in a while. So, in other news, if I could boost this channel to 1,000 subscribers, I would definitely be giving away that $100 gift card that I've already stated in previous videos. 1,000 subscribers would be a nice jump up. There's some other beer reviews that I listen to. Dickie's beer review, he's quite enjoyable. He does his beer reviews, sometimes he sings, sometimes he just sits there and talks. There's also the Party Source reviews, they're quite enjoyable. Let's see, the Master of Hoppets, if I remember correctly. He has a decent following. And as I go on with these videos, I'm experimenting with ways to increase views. I added some video gaming footage that I'd done, but I'm no ninja. That guy is a phenomenal video game player, and you can see that he has a processing rate. It's just like no other. So if someone ever comes out and says that he's and it is true, I'm hoping wrong, because I enjoy seeing him play. So hello, one viewer, how are you doing? See if I can get any information. Nah. But so if you like what I do, please subscribe. The goal for this channel is to reach people, and to reach people for the better. And this will possibly conclude after the brew, or after the review 4 and 5, excuse me. And I'll get my numbers down right in the description when I go back and edit this video. I'll also add tags that are appropriate. So I've always wondered, though, as I'm driving, do other high expensive models don't have turn signals in them? Because it seems like Audis, Porsches, Mercedes, they all don't use their turn signals enough as they fly by and cut people off. Don't get me wrong, I know people are just in a rush and in a hurry, but man, and the post office. I understand you have flashy lights, but you literally just pull out like you don't care. So, but we need the post office, we need things like that in order to keep it cheaper for our delivery. But I want to say that they might become obsolete if Amazon would ever somehow buy them out. Because I think Amazon's logistics plan is just better than most people's. This whole wind is a problem, but AC will also make a lot of noise. If you can, share this video. So I'm back. Thank you for that 1 subscriber staying. I guess my stream was interrupted by cell service, but hey, it's what it is. It's a beautiful day here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. One of the elite parts of Pennsylvania. So, but I think the next, after the review, if I can figure out if After Brew is not taken, the next portion of this segment will be talking about leadership and how the 16 personality traits or 16 traits test pinpoints me every single time as somebody that's a commander and executive. I don't want to spend money on these actual tests because they're expensive, and plus they already have free versions out there. But every time I take one of these, it pinpoints me as an authoritative leader, and today people don't believe that that's a option in this world. So I do, but if we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, if we're all adults and we all want to work and raise money, then we should try to our best work to get the job done that we were paid to do. Yeah, some days we all have a lackadaisical attitude, and that's okay because we need to rest and we're just going against the grind. But if we're all adults and we all got hired, then there should never be a need for a friendship style leadership or an authoritative style leadership. We should just do what those people above us tell us what to do, because they're not going to tell us to go do something that doesn't make sense. So it just doesn't make any type of real sense for them to sit there and abuse you. Sometimes people joke, I have done it too, but they're not going to sit there and constantly just cause you to do stupid little tasks. They're going to ask you to do the job that they feel like it's necessary for you to do. But then we come down to it, and because of those people, and because of we have trends of people that know that they don't have to do work themselves, we now have leaders that have to become authoritative. We now have leaders that have to become, basically a dictator, and we have leaders that then say that no, you don't. You have to become a friend with your employee and to get well and work well with them together. And some businesses today, multi-billion-dollar businesses, do structure their company that way, and that's what they're searching for. So obviously some of my feelings are wrong about that, but if we're just doing the right thing, we should never have anybody be surprised about us being willing to do the job that they give us to do. Well, I'm here. That's pretty much it. Thank you to that one person that was viewing. God bless you. Love you. See you later.